Canadian players dominate the storyline for match day 5 in our home and native land. And with group play at the World Cup beginning in 4 weeks to the day, that's right, kids, Wednesday, November 23rd, I regret to inform you there is still no deal between the men's national team players and the Canadian Soccer Association. If that were it, maybe we could get away with a facepalm and the understanding that sometimes this happens in world soccer. But alas, this is Canadian soccer, and it feels like absolutely nothing. Nothing is easy, even when you're going to the World Cup for the first time in 36 years. Dear God, in the latest in a long line of missteps on the way to Qatar, we had something break a couple days ago. Alphonso Davies' agent asked the CSA to stop selling Davies jerseys. Why, you ask? Well, no Canadian soccer player has ever received royalties for their jersey sales, and Davies and his agent decided to put a stop to it. Lo and behold, a couple days later, the two sides ironed out a licensing agreement for Canada's international star and a man who stepped in front of FIFA Congress to extol the virtues of this great country and help Canada and the CSA land the World Cup that will in fact be played here in Canada in 4 years. Problem is, CSA is like the sheep freed from the ditch. Don't know what I mean by the sheep freed from the ditch? It's a tough spot to be in. Freedom. Free at last. Wait a second. That's right. Davies is the only player on the men's or women's side with a licensing agreement. So even though they got out of one ditch, they landed right back in another, just like our furry friend. Christine Sinclair, who, let's be honest, has carried this program on her back for the better part of a decade, linked to the Rick Westhead story on the Davies deal and said, and I quote, "I'm waiting to hear from the CSA." Yes. Two-time Olympic medalist, maybe the greatest female player ever, is waiting. Why? It's just the CSA. So is Atiba Hutchinson, who has shown up for country over and over and over and over. Never mind Tejan Buchanan or Sam Adekugbe or Stephen Eustachio, who we just saw score a Champs League goal. Or Khadijah Buchanan, or Ashley Lawrence, wonderful women's players who, by the way, are headed to a World Cup of their own next year. And even if you did have the deal, which they don't, but even if you did have a licensing deal, head on to Nike.ca, the Canadian website for the outfitter who makes the kits for Canada. They don't have anything Canada on their website. France? Yep. 3 Lions, sold out. Netherlands, check. Portugal, si. Brazil, si. Croatia, Poland, Korea, Australia. Australia is sold out. Crikeys. What in the good name of Alex Bunbury is going on here? This is a chance to turn the corner, and you're not even in the car. The CSA is back in the en route, the auto grill, taking a deuce and looking for an espresso. Seriously, this is almost unbelievable, but it's the CSA. And I haven't even mentioned the rights deal that pays a max of what? $3.5 million till 2027? You should have been able to make $3.5 million in the last month if you're doing bleep right. Best part, the deal has an option. For 10 more years, a trigger for the Canadian soccer business. Not a trigger for the federation, and sure as hell not a trigger for the players. I'm so exhausted I feel like a French speed walker right now. Don't get the visual. My God, there's no deal and we have 4 weeks left to play in the World Cup. No licensing deal with your players, save for one dude. More people buying your merch from DHgate than your own website or the biggest kit manufacturer in the world. one of the crappiest right deals known to man. The president saying that the deal predates him and then reports that he was thanked in the email after the deal was signed. More reports of the team's flying economy, the president flying first class, players asked to return their training clothes so that Canada Soccer can recycle them. I'm dead serious. While the board gets new suits, seriously, this is apparently real life. Hey, Fonzie, I know you stood in front of FIFA Congress for us. I know you play for one of the biggest clubs in the world and talk to other players about what they get, but we're going to need that tracksuit back so we can give it to our U19 side. What bleeping world do we live in? Listen, I hope this show's past with this organization lends some credence to what I'm saying. Sid and I poured as much as we possibly could into giving Canada the kind of spotlight that they deserve, even when it repeatedly ended in heartbreak, be it in Honduras or London, after Sinky and the women were robbed. Men's, women's side, we tried our best. The speech I gave in World Cup qualifying, saying that this was the dawn of a new era, or after they qualified in an attempt to quantify what this meant to generations of soccer fans in this country, and how this moment should have legitimized so much that instead is being undone in these very moments that we're talking about. I hope that all of that support lends some weight to what I'm saying here. Stop being reactionary. Get out in front of this. And for the love of all things Paul Pescasolido, just do the right thing. Because with the World Cup in 4 weeks and another in Canada in 4 years, we all know the money is coming. I understand you're under the FIFA umbrella, and in the past, that has meant you can line your pockets, but times are changing, and either you're in or you're in the way. And right now, it looks like the latter. In fact, I heard Dr. Nick Bontis, president of the CSA, say nearly the exact same thing. And I quote, "Soccer here, we're a world-class country. Women, Olympic gold medal champions. Men, top of the table in CONCACAF. And when you have a world-class organization on the field, you need a world-class organization off the field." End quote. You know what? I couldn't agree more. So either you're in or you're in the way. And hurry up about it. The bleeping thing starts in 4 weeks.